Hello, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers, bringing you news and information from people making a difference in our communities. I'm Beverly Weaver, and joining me now is State Representative Ellen Roberts. Welcome. Thanks for coming in, Representative. Let's begin with the legislative session. Obviously, still some tough things being wrangled out. In terms of jobs and the economy, that really has still been on the front burner for state lawmakers, hasn't it?
Well, it is, and it should be. There are too many people in our state who are struggling with working fewer hours or having lost their job. So that really needs to be where our focus is.
In terms of the distinction that you're seeing, Representative, how do you see it kind of break out with the discussion that's ongoing between promoting job growth in the private sector versus the public sector? That seems to be something that has caught your attention.
Well, I think it's an excellent question. I sit on the House Finance Committee, and what I've really seen this session is that the two parties have a very different approach about where we need to be building our jobs and our economy. I believe that the private sector is the best place to be looking to for job stability, and I think Colorado is very much a small business state, so we need to create a business-friendly environment here. Encourage businesses to move to our state, but also retain the ones that we already have. So that would be where I'd focus. Unfortunately, I do see a lot of legislation that doesn't create that business-friendly environment, and I also see us perhaps adding way too many government jobs, which we need government. I'm not advocating to do away with government, but I'm just saying that if we're looking for job growth, it should be in the private sector.
In terms of how this session compares to the last session, obviously that was when the recession hit. A lot of people were very shell-shocked with the budgetary constraints. How does this compare to what you had to do last time around?
Well, this year the budget bill took a lot less time because we still don't have money, but we went through the painful experience last year of sort of transitioning from a good time to a not good time.
Right.
And so this year the budget went through in the House, again, on a much quicker, less controversial level, but it wasn't because we had anything extra to work with. We're just still, we know that our economy is going to be slow to recover, and so we need to be good fiscal stewards in the meantime, for sure.
You also do some work with Health and Human Services in the legislature as well. What are you seeing in that regard? Obviously, healthcare reform, a huge issue nationally. How are you seeing Colorado react to that, and what do you think the key issues are there?
Well, again, we have a real difference of opinion about how we should have gone about healthcare reform. I have worked on healthcare reform along with the Republican caucus for the last several years, but we focused mostly on cost issues and how do we do this more efficiently rather than expanding the government programs. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of those who can't afford health care. We need to do that because their costs end up spilling over to everybody. But first you want to fix a system that is broken, and I'm not sure that we accomplished that before we started expanding the number on public programs. So I would say that we're going to be challenged on the federal level. I want the U.S. government, the federal government, to take advantage of what Colorado did to improve its system and not just swallow us whole.
In terms of the Colorado Youth Advisory Council, quickly just give me an overview on your involvement with that and your work on that.
A couple years ago, I carried a bill that created a youth council that acts at the legislature, meets 4 times a year, and we have kids from 14 to 19 who come in and listen to bills and give us their advice about anything that they have interest in. So it's youth-driven. It's an application process. It's not necessarily the straight-A student. We want the youth council to look like the kids of Colorado.
Sure.
So it's been a great experience.
In terms of the feedback you got from the kids this year?
Well, they weren't so keen on the helmet law, and they also had some opinions on the required arts classes.
Very, very interesting. All right, State Representative Ellen Roberts, thanks for coming in and sharing us some information on what you're working on in the legislature.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver.